Hey friends, Jeff here with missionmusician.com and got a little tiny mix trick for you today. So I'm mixing this song and the snare's sounding good soloed, but when it's in the mix it kind of sounds flat and kind of dull. Let me show you what I mean. So I got 3 snare tracks here, a snare top, a snare bottom, and a snare sample. And let me play them in solo. Right, so it sounds like a snare, but in the mix, it kind of sounds bland and dull and flat and kind of one-dimensional. Let's take a listen. Let me mute this really quick. Right, so it kind of sounds boring and bland and one-dimensional. So what you can do is you can send your snares to a auxiliary bus track like I've done here and put some distortion on it. I know you're thinking distortion on a snare. Trust me, it actually really helps if you blend it in right. So all I've done is I've got a stock distortion, the air distortion from Pro Tools, and I've taken the drive and I've driven it up just a little bit, and the mix is 100%. And then I took an EQ and I put a low pass filter on and filtered out somewhere back to around 6K. And now this difference is subtle, but it gives more depth to the snare, a little bit more impact, a little bit more depth, makes it seem a little bit more three-dimensional. Let's take a listen. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to let it play a couple times through, and then I'll bring in the snare distortion. And again, it is subtle, but it's doing what I want it to do. Alright, so that's giving it some more depth for sure. Let's kind of listen to this in solo, and you can hear that it doesn't sound great in solo at all. Right? So it doesn't sound fantastic, but in the mix it's doing what I want it to do, which is the important thing here. I don't care how it sounds in solo, I care how it sounds in the mix. And one thing you do need to check though when you do this is if there's any like drum rolls, you probably need to bypass the distortion. Let me show you what I mean here. Let's see. Let me clear this and let you listen to this little drum fill here. Right, so that doesn't sound great. So what I had to do is I had to just automate this out here. Okay, so don't just blankly go and put it on and consider it done. You have to listen to the track all the way through to make sure it works. And not only can you use distortion, you can use preamp emulations and use it to drive the snare in a parallel processing way. In other words, instead of using distortion, you could put a preamp emulation on here. Or you could use what I used to use, and I can't use it anymore. I'm really bummed about not having this plugin anymore, but Massey's tape head. If you're a Pro Tools user and you have a Mac, you can definitely still use this. Windows does not have an AAX 64-bit version, or I should say Massey doesn't make one. He made it for Mac, but not for Windows, which is kind of a real bummer. But this thing is awesome on Snare. That's why I'm kind of bummed that he doesn't make this for Windows. So if you're a Mac user, you can get this for free at masseyplugins.com. And I'm sorry, my kid's screaming upstairs, trying to concentrate here. The only thing that when you download the free version, when you close your session, it doesn't save the settings. And honestly, on this plugin, it's not a huge deal because you only got 2 knobs. You could technically just go to your snare track, and in the snare notes, you could type in what your settings were right here. So that's an option for you if you're a Mac user and you want to get that plugin. It is awesome on Snare. Otherwise, you can just use a stock distortion. Heck, you could even use, let's see here, harmonic. You could use Sans Amp. You can use any kind of distortion that you have in your DAW that came with your DAW to do this trick. Okay, so that's all I got for you today. Got some more videos coming up for you here really soon. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye-bye.